Hello everyone, I'd like to talk to you today about heart disease. It's something that I have myself. I had a quadruple bypass. I am right now currently 48 years old. I was 42 when I had my open heart surgery. And I want to tell you how I found out. Because a lot of people don't know that they have something wrong with their heart and you need to go get checked. So I'm gonna tell you my story of what happened. Back in 2006, I had a stroke. It was a TIA. Prior to that, I was going to this hospital for like 7 years, having a pain under my arm, and it usually came about when I was doing something, like if I was doing laundry, housework, anything, it would start to come and I would feel it under my arm, this pain. It was weird. But the thing is, it would travel, it felt like it was going into my throat glands too. It felt like they were connected. And it was really weird. I never had that happen before. So, I kept going to the doctor, off and on with this pain. So she prescribed me acid reflux medicine, and I had went through three or four different acid reflux medicines, and nothing worked. Nothing was working. So when 2006 came, I ended up having my stroke. I woke up in the morning and I just wasn't feeling right. I had this it was a headache on, the side of my head, and it was just annoying. It wasn't a pounding pain or nothing like that. It was just this little tiny annoying headache that wasn't going away. So I sat down in the living room, and I can remember all of a sudden I just started feeling really, really strange. I just started feeling just weird. My whole right side of my body turned to like rubber. I couldn't move, and I was so freaked out. I was so scared. And I hopped on my one leg and was dragging my other because my whole body was just wobbling, and I was just hopping so fast to get, because I was losing everything, was just going away. And I fell on the bed on top of my boyfriend, and he jumped up like, what the heck's going on, and I couldn't talk. My mouth, I just couldn't talk. And he called the ambulance, and I'll get to the hospital, and they said I had a stroke. But they couldn't tell me why I had the stroke. And that was the scariest thing, I'm trying to ask people, why did I have the stroke? What's wrong with me? They've done other testing, and they didn't find nothing else. They couldn't explain to me why I had the stroke. So I thought that was real strange. After it was done, I went home and I was doing therapy, speech therapy, and working with my arms and all that kind of stuff to get me back, to myself, which happened very quickly because it was a mini stroke. And then 3 years later, 2009. This is when I had my open heart surgery. I wasn't feeling right that day. I decided I'm not going back to that hospital that I was going to for 7 years. I'm not going back there no more. I told myself, forget that, And I knew of a new outpatient hospital that opened up down the road from me. So I decided to go there. I don't want to say any names, but I'll just tell you, it was a new place, opened up. I went there, walked in, wasn't feeling good. I registered, and the lady came up to me, one of the nurses, and she says, honey, are you feeling okay? And I said, no, I'm just really, really tired. I don't feel good. I'm congested. I have this pain that, comes under my arm, and my throat glands pound and pain. I'm trying to, tell her how I feel. And then she says, let's go. Let me take you in right now. So she took me in right away. So, okay. And the doctor came in and talked to me. I was telling him what was going on. So they took some blood, and they did an EKG on me. And he came back in the room, and he says, Sandy, he says, you're not going home. He says, I want you to go to so-and-so hospital by ambulance. He goes, I feel this is heart-related. And that right then and there, when he told me that, I knew, because, my whole side of my mom's family, my mom died at 57 years old. Her three sisters, my aunts, they died in their 40s. Her two brothers, they died in their 40s. My grandma, her mother, died at 40 years old. And I just lost my brother a couple years ago. He was 41 from this heart disease. It's an inherited disease. So, anyways, I went in. I decided, okay, he says it'll take like an hour for testing. He says, I just want to be sure, because I really think this is heart related. So I went. I got there. They wanted to do angiogram on me, and I was scared. I didn't want to do it. And the doctor came in, and he told me, he says, Sandy, he says, you gotta trust me. He says, I really think you need this done. And I looked at him, and I believed him. I thought, you know what? I'll do it. I trusted him. They did it. It's where they go in to my groin through my that main artery, and they thread it up so they can see inside your heart. And that's what they did. And they found a lot, my arteries were blocked, and that's why I was feeling so tired and I couldn't do nothing. He told me, he said, Sandy, you should be dead. He says, your heart did an amazing thing that a lot of hearts don't do. He says it grew 3 tiny little arteries around the other side to keep you alive. He says normally a lot of people just die instantly. He says your heart did this amazing thing, saving your life. And after they seen all that, I went under. The next night they did open heart on me, and I had a quadruple bypass. I got out. I was in the hospital a while. I got out, and a month later I had a heart attack. It's because I had tissue that was healing tissue was blocking one of my smaller arteries, and I had a small heart attack. And believe me, a small heart attack that I was having, it reminded me of the pain that was under my arm, that was going in my throat glands, but it was worse. So those pains that I was having for all those years, those were called silent heart attacks. They didn't destroy my heart, thank God. But they call them silent because, you don't know. You don't know what's wrong with you, I was scared, to go through all that. I mean, at 42 years old, to have all these problems. I found out that I had a bad gene. And a lot of people, they get old age heart disease. That's where, throughout your lifestyle, the way you eat, you get older, and your arteries get blocked from the cholesterol, the buildup, all that. And I didn't have that old age. I had inherited. So you got to be careful. You need to find out what is in your family's history, your history of your family, like what do they have? Cancer? Do they have heart disease or whatever? If it runs in the family, you really, really, really need to go talk to your doctor. Or if you're afraid, go see a doctor. If you're having symptoms like pain, like in your chest, if you're having, because I never had the chest pain. If you're having chest pains, if you're having numbness in your left side, your arm, or your hands or your feet, if you're weakness, that's what I had, weakness, coldness in your legs or your arms, pain in your neck, pain in your back, pain in your throat. These are all signs, that you could have heart disease or heart problems. Go get yourself checked out. If you're watching this today and you're trying to figure out if something's wrong with you and you have these symptoms that I'm telling you, go to your doctor, okay? Because you're going to save your own life. Just go have testing done. They can test for heart disease. They have all this new technology. Just go do it, because you don't know. I mean, if you have it in your family, the history of your family, chances are you can get it too. And that's what happened to me. My mom, I lost my whole side of my mom's family from this. And it's terrible. I miss them horribly. I miss my mother, I miss my brother, my whole family. And I have there's 5 of us left, my brothers and sisters, and their kids. And I don't want to lose them, Like my brother, he was 41. Instant heart attack. Died just instantly. And I'm just so afraid, for the rest of my family. And I'm always harping on them, please, go to the doctor. Go get checked, do the test, A lot of people are afraid to go to a doctor. I'm telling you, don't be afraid. You have to get the courage. You got to do it. It'll save your life. And if you have kids, you better go do it. They don't want to lose you. You want to be there for your children. Just go have it done. I have a son. I don't want to die. So I have to watch what I eat. I'm always going to, get this back slowly because it's inherited, but if I eat right and exercise, I can help prolong it. And if you're out there and you think there's something going on, like if you're having pains, don't put it on hold. If you keep going through it, before you know it, you can have a full-blown heart attack. So just, if you're having these symptoms, it's your body telling you that there's something wrong. I had these things for like 7 years that I can remember before I had the open heart. I remember just going there, and all the time I had that pain under my arm. Women experience, I think, differently than men, different symptoms. So mine was the under the armpit and in my throat glands, and the weakness, the tiredness, and those were my symptoms that something was wrong. I knew something was wrong with me, and that's why I kept going to the hospital. So it wasn't like I was just sitting at home and letting it happen. I actually went to the doctor. I wanted to know what was wrong. I went so much. Maybe they got tired of it. But I want to know what was wrong with me, and come to find out I had what my mom died of, my brother died of, and all my aunts and uncles died from. So you gotta go. You gotta go to the doctor. Don't hold back anymore. I'm telling you, don't do it. Think of your family. Think of your loved ones. Think of those kids if you have children. Find out your family history. I'm telling you, you gotta do it. Be strong, okay? Just go online, look up things, about heart symptoms, there's a lot of information out there that, people would benefit from. So, go do that, okay? Save yourself, okay? I hope I helped somebody out there. And thank you for listening to my story. Have a great day. Thanks.